Yo, yo, what is shaking, everybody? Welcome back to Turntable Tales right here on the Spins Vinyl channel. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Hall of Fame, Brandon. What's up, dude?
Vinyl community, Jason, what's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, all is well. All is well. It's Wednesday night again. I get to talk 80s pretty much with my guy. I'm not saying I picked all 80s, but I might have.
Well, you know, I'm always down for that, so let's do it.
Oh, yeah. You know, there's never talk about 80s too much. There's plenty to go around for everybody. So today, guys, we picked title tracks. So, you know, title tracks, right? This is going to be that the track that matches the title of the LP. And we try to pick our favorite ones, some of the best ones in our collections. And when you first said this, dude, I was kind of like, I love the idea, but I was kind of like, man, am I going to have enough stuff to go around? Mm-hmm. How many albums do I have with the title track on it? And it turns out I had way more than I thought I was going to have.
Well, it was kind of cool. Tell me, when you started looking through, did you have to kind of slow down and go through your collection? And that's the thing I thought was kind of interesting, because I get so used to just looking at artists and the artwork, and you know the album, and I had to go like, wait a minute, what exactly is the title of this album?
Yeah.
So it was kind of different, which was neat.
Yeah, a little bit of that, a little bit of. There was a couple I wanted to grab. One, I'll just say I didn't get it but I had it in my crate and I had to take it out because I was going to pick B-52's Whammy, but turns out there's not a title track. The song on there is called Whammy Kiss. So
yeah,
I'm like, disqualified. I can't have that one. So there's a little bit of that going on too.
Yeah, I did that a couple of times too. One that comes to mind was I was going to pick out Roots by Sepultura, but the song is not Roots, it's Roots, Bloody Roots. Like, that didn't count. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, try to squeeze it in there with a technicality,
right?
But fortunately, there's enough stuff. Well, dang, dude, why don't you go first? I think I kicked off last time.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, one of the things that I tried to do, I know there's a lot of common ones that everyone is probably going to say, like, that's an obvious one, you know, Van Halen 5150, blah, blah, blah. So, yes, I have some that are obvious, but I also tried to pick some that, like, maybe these are ones we don't talk about as much and that type of thing. So,
yeah, I love that.
Just to kind of make it interesting for some of our viewers here. So, the first one I'm going to go with is this one right here, which is James. Remember that song Laid? Off the album Laid.
I'd have to hear it.
Yeah, and you totally have. It came out in 1993, I believe, when this album came out.
Okay.
And yeah, that was like the absolute song that made me fall in love with them. Let me get this light out of here. I think it's kind of, yeah, just absolutely made me fall in love with them. So I mean, I was so happy when they finally got around to pressing this back in 2020. But just some of that early 90s fun, and yeah, I think a perfect example of an awesome title track right there.
Okay, Laid, cool, man. Mm-hmm. Tap Records in the house. What's up, Tap? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Right. You know, one thing I thought might be fun at the risk of getting booted. Well, not getting booted, but you know, being reprimanded by YouTube would be to play like 1 second of a track, of a title track. I thought that might be kind of cool. See if you can guess it. Maybe the people can guess it.
Okay.
So the first album I'm going to play a very quick snippet and see if you can get it here. Oh, first of all, I hope you can hear this. I'll try it.
Oh, yeah. Police.
You remember the track?
Oh, geez. Why am I going brain dead? I'm having a total brain fart on live stream here.
Well, this one's a little bit of a, I don't know. I would say I cheated ever so slightly. It's in two parts. Here's the other one. So you got Synchronicity, and you got Synchronicity 1 and Synchronicity 2 is on here. So I'm counting it, you know. But we got two versions of Synchronicity on here. I know this is a common one, probably a lot. I mean, you guys are going to know all this stuff, you know, so I always appreciate Brandon for bringing the deep cuts, but yeah, I love this album. Love the Police. You know, big, this was huge on MTV back in the day. So yeah, I just love this record. So yeah, Synchronicity 1 and 2 off the record, Synchronicity by the Police.
Nice. Good pick. I don't know why I'm doubting myself. I was gonna say synchronicity, and I thought I was thinking something wrong. So I was like, I don't want to say the thing and look stupid. So
No, I know how that
I
is.
just said it. All right, my next pick. This is gonna be kind of maybe somewhat of a common one. I'm gonna go with "No More Tears" by Ozzy Osbourne.
Nice,
fantastic one there with the old man Zakk Wylde at the helm here. And one of the reasons why I picked this is because I think with all the awesome Ozzy stuff that's been out there, and all his stuff with Randy Rhoads and Lee, just kind of on and on. He's had so many great guitarists and artists that play with him. I still think that the guitar solo that Zakk did to "No More Tears" is arguably the best guitar solo in any Ozzy song throughout his entire solo catalog.
Wow.
And not necessarily because it's so technical, but it just kind of, there's just something about the feel. It serves the song so well, kind of thing. So that just made me think, yeah, always good to kind of pull up that album and show it. But yeah, "No More Tears" by Ozzy.
That's great, dude. I do not have that one. I mean, I have the trifecta, of his early ones that came out, Bark at the Moon and all that stuff. But yeah, that's one I need to familiarize myself with.
Nice.
What's up, Easy Now? Shout out James Richards. I love songs about graping women. Fact. Okay. All right. So next up for me. Oh, in fact, I gotta play the tune. It's kind of a mini version of Name That Tune, right? Okay. So here's my next one.
Oh yeah.
You know it. I know you know it.
Yeah, definitely know that. I have one by the same artist here. It's okay. Word Up by Cameo.
Ah, yes. Ding, ding, ding. There we go. A little Word Up by Cameo. It was funny because you were talking about having to slow down a little bit. I was kind of like, is the album called Word Up? Absolutely, it is called Word Up, and this has Word Up on it, and it's classic. Man, this tune just gets in my bones every time I hear it. Candy, another great one, but yeah, Cameo, Word Up. Boom, right there.
With the hype sticker too, that's nice.
With the hype.
All right, my next one here, actually I'm going to skip that one and go to this one. This is one I have to show because not only is it my favorite band, it's my favorite song by my favorite band.
Okay.
Everyone that knows me knows I'm going right to Godsmack, and it's Awake. Love that. That is absolutely my favorite song by them. There's no other that just gets me as pumped as it does when it comes on in the car. Whenever I go to see them live, I love everything, but that's the one song that I wait for. And I think I've talked about this a couple of times though, but like I've seen them 17 times over the past 15 years or something like that. And there's this one thing that they have done every single show that they've never changed up with that song. And there's a part when there's kind of a breakdown in the middle of the song, and it just kind of goes into the riff or the groove that they're doing. And they have this flashing strobe light that comes on and plays along with the groove. And it's just for like that 10 or 15 seconds that groove is going on. And every time I see that part of that 15 seconds just blows me away. I actually get myself in a place where I'm just like, I don't want to be distracted. I make sure if someone's in front of me that I get my line of sight. It's like, I'm going to have the moment and I want to experience it.
Yes.
It's so freaking awesome. Oh my gosh.
I love that Godsmack is your favorite band, dude. I need to listen to more Godsmack. I've actually been listening to more like 90s, early 2000s kind of metal, hardcore type stuff recently. So yeah, I need it. Yeah. It's a perfect time for me to mix in some Godsmack.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome, man. And I'm the first one to say I can't still figure out exactly how Godsmack became my favorite band. Because just analyzing music, if you will. The lead singer Sully used to be a drummer who's now playing rhythm guitar, and he by far is not a great guitar player.
Yeah.
They don't play a bunch of complex things. You'll almost never find a guitar solo. The drummer, on the other hand, is absolutely amazing. He's on a whole nother level. But it's just something about the way they find their groove and all of this stuff. It just touches me, and I'm like, yeah, you may not be the best musicians, but you make some of the best music in my world. So man, I love my boys, love them to death.
Yeah, it just goes to show you, man. Like it's not all about technical, being a virtuoso, or it's not even also always about having a great voice or anything. Like it has
Right.
so much to do with like just the energy of the band and just rocking it, with whatever you got.
Right. It's just make people feel.
Yeah.
It's just make people feel, because Sade can't sing. you know what I mean?
It's like true. She's more of a quiet kind of speaker almost, huh? Yeah.
Right. Neil Young, Bob Dylan, they aren't great singers, but they will make you feel and think though, oh my gosh. That's what it's all about.
That's a great call, dude. I remember I would get mad when I was a kid. I loved The Cure so much. I remember somebody saying, yeah, this song would be pretty cool if it wasn't for this guy's messed up voice. And I was like, what? How can you say that? And it's like, okay, I guess so.
Right.
Definitely different. Tap Records, Cameo had some, see, there it is. Cameo had some great albums, and then drops this bomb. Rip Roy Ayers. I just looked it up. Roy Ayers passed away yesterday.
Oh, so, wow.
Yes, rest in peace.
That sucks.
I need more Roy Ayers in my life. I don't have any. Only thing I have is Ramp, which he and Edwin Birdsong had something to do with, like, I think some of the arrangements and stuff. But yeah, man, I know I got to get to Roy Ayers in my collection. But yeah, that's messed up.
That sucks.
Another big one.
I'm kidding.
All right. So, next up, what do
you got?
We got to play the track just for a second and see if you get this one. I think that's all I can get away with.
I'm not sure about that one.
Weird that it's like a horn. Sounds jazzy, probably, right?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
For a second, but
well, this guy right here, Adam Ant, and did have a lot of horns, particularly on this album, Friend or Foe, and that is the title track, Friend or Foe. And this has a lot of great stuff. That Desperate But Not Serious was another big one. He did a Doors cover of Hello, I Love You on here. But that's my guy. I love Adam Ant. So yeah, that Friend or Foe. Lots of horns. It's a very interesting, great use of horns and drumming and his like very unique vocal style. To me, it just makes for a great recipe and very unique. No one else is like Adam Ant. So yeah, a little Friend or Foe right there.
Nice. Yeah, I know you're a big Adam guy.
I am.
Next one here. That's going to take you almost down a little disco trail. I'm going with Rock Your Baby by George McCrae. And again, that's probably one of those songs maybe some people don't know by name, but if you've heard it, you're like, yeah, I've heard that in a movie here or blah, blah here. But man, it's one of those songs that's just, it's like this perfect mixture of soul, disco, and just like this mellow groove. I've always said it's the kind of song where I envision myself like, let's say I'm like, I work at a club and we've closed down the bar, right? And everyone's gone and like the music's just playing. And all of a sudden this song comes on. I'm in there by myself. Like I'm in the middle of the dance floor dancing to this by myself. Like, I don't need nobody else around to go to just the awesome places that song takes me. And I said it's a slow, smoother groove. It's not an upbeat disco song.
Yeah.
But man, I cannot get enough of it. It is so fantastic. So had to show that one.
I'm glad you showed it. Maybe I would know it if I heard it, but I got to play it now because I don't know.
You totally have. You totally have heard it.
That's probably going to be going on my wanting list now. Yeah, Tap, Goody Two Shoes. That's the one I forgot. Exactly. That's also on that Adam Ant record. Cesar, shout out. What's up? He was still watching the interview with Nadine. She has so much autograph records. Insane. Yeah, that was a fun little video to make with her. She has some insane, speaking of disco, Nadine from Soul Disco, she has some crazy stuff in her collection. Lavelle also giving it an endorsement. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out for sure. That track. All right, my next one. In fact, okay, well, dang it. Okay, I don't want to give anything away. I'm gonna play this. See if you recognize it. I got to give you a short. I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't play a really short one. Here we go. Remember that one? Big on MTV.
It's not ringing a bell from that piece.
Okay. I wonder if
It's
anyone.
not Big C, is it?
Say again.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Anyone in chat? Anyone in chat? Another Adamant. So Strip. This is the album Strip. The song Strip. Man, this thing was all over MTV when it came out too. Adamant was massive. As big as he kind of got, you know, in a niche way in the US. He has a ton of #1 hits in the UK. He was massive in the UK. He was like as big as the Beatles in the UK. And I want to make sure no one forgets that. That's why, because I'm always going to talk about Adamant, man. So yeah, Strip. Yeah, Lavelle, you got it. Strip.
Nice.
I might as well say too, you were saying with Godsmack. I mean, I've seen Adamant one time. I saw him with the English Beat, and that was last year. So, you know, I was a abbreviated version of the English Beat, unfortunately, because obviously Rankin Roger is gone, but and Adamant is getting up there. But man, it was just so cool to see those guys. It was one of those surreal moments, right, that you get when it's like, all right, I'm breathing the same air as my childhood heroes. So cool.
Nice. That is awesome.
Spanish Games, Lavelle. That's look, you know you're Adamant. That's a great one. That is a great one. Yes.
All right, next one here. Let's go with my boy Jim Croce.
Okay.
And it's, of course, the album I Got a Name. You know, I've obviously known Jim Croce since forever and always kind of liked his stuff, but for some reason, about 3 or 4 years ago, he just started making sense and touching me on a whole nother level. Like I don't know why. It's just his music started to take on a new place for me. And the song I Got a Name is kind of one of those perfect examples, man. It's just everything he does, but especially like that song, you know, Operator, New York's Not My Home, those type was, no, all that's not on this one, but it's just kind of like it started to time warp me a lot more, where all of a sudden I'm back, you know, in that late 60s and early 70s with him, and just the pictures that he's creating, they start to become so much more vivid. And and I Got a Name is just one of those, and just another one of those artists that were just taken way too early, man. You know, should have been around a lot more years and given us 5, 6, 7, 8 more studio albums that just would have been amazing. But total legend right there.
Wow. Yeah, another one I'm not that familiar with, so I need to throw that on the playlist. All right, here's my next one. You got it. You got to know this one. Again, I'm going to get in trouble. This one takes a second to get going.
Oh, yeah.
At least name the band.
Duran Duran.
Yes. The title track off Rio, and that is Rio, man. Just this is such a great song. Oh, by the way, Tap Records, Adamant or Billy Idol? I love Billy Idol, but Adamant, I just go, I don't know. Adamant was there for me when I really needed him, you know, as a teenager, so I got to pick Adam. But Duran Duran, Rio, yeah, man, this is a great album. Duran Duran, and most people know, not a one-hit wonder by any means, and this just has some great stuff on it. So Rio, of course, being one of the greatest tunes on this album. So yeah, Duran Duran, Rio had to show some love. And that artwork too, I can't remember the name of this artist, but that you remember seeing these like posters in people's homes and stuff. There was a guy that
80s, yeah.
Oh, 80s. He did all these women like this. And like even prints of his stuff now are like very expensive.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. I can't read I don't remember who it is, but anyway, Duran Duran, Rio.
Yeah, classic. Well, we're the perfect 1-2 combination because you got Adamant and I got Billy Idol all the way.
Nice.
That's my boy. Let's see. How about we jump to some more 90s stuff here? It's like, I think 1998-ish. Whole Celebrity Skin.
Old dude.
Yes.
So good.
This is absolutely my favorite album by them. And of course, the song Celebrity Skin was the song that brought me to Hole initially. So that was one when I stumbled across it when I was flipping through. I was like, yeah, that's definitely one worth mentioning. So yeah, you know, another great album, just that awesome 90s stuff that was going on at the time. But I think Celebrity Skin fits in good here.
I just think those records are underrated, man. They are just packed with awesome music. Her first one, what's it? Live with It. I forget what it's called, but something like that. And then that one, they're both so good.
Yeah.
Live with This, maybe it's called. Somebody can fact check me.
Yeah.
Malcolm Garrett. Yes. Okay. His art was all over the 80s. Absolutely.
All right. What do you got next?
All right. Well, now I feel like, okay. Well, I'm going to play it. I feel like you picked this one. I'm sorry.
Let's see.
You should be able to guess it.
And actually, I didn't pick that one because I felt like it would be too obvious for me, so I actually skipped that one.
Thank you. He gives me the layups. I appreciate that. Billy Idol, Rebel Yell. Damn, this is another one. Just such a fantastic album. It's just everything about it. Do Not Stand in the Shadows. Love that. Such a great one. Kind of underrated tune. But man, Billy Idol, Rebel Yell. It's phenomenal. Eyes Without a Face. Just such a dynamic kind of quality of the music. It varies. It's not all the same. You hear something like Eyes Without a Face and you almost think, is that Billy Idol? Because you listen to it next to Rebel Yell and it's a completely different thing, and they're both masterpieces. So yeah. So Rebel Yell, I had to put it in there.
Yeah, and then you start diving into stuff like Daytime Drama and Catch My Fall and like Dead Next Door, and like none of it matches up. But I mean, yeah, that I cannot even begin to tell you how important and impactful that album has been in my musical life. Like that is just one of my just above all like top 5 most influential albums in my musical life without question.
Very
love that thing, man.
That's awesome.
And he's touring this year. He and Joan Jett are going back out on the road, and he has a new album coming out in the next couple of months.
Have you heard the track that got dropped?
Actually, I haven't heard it yet.
Oh man, it's so good. You should listen to it. I'm always worried. Like, in fact, he did a little interview because he's all over social media. He's on like Instagram and stuff, and he's talking about how like I really just wanted it to go back to the roots. It's got to be rock and all this stuff, and it totally is, man. It's a great tune. I think you're gonna really like it.
Yeah. All he has to do is just keep Stevie Stevens there with him, man. I mean, if he just keeps him there, because even all that creativity of that stuff, how different you talk about stuff being with Rebel Yell. I mean, a good chunk of that was all about Stevie, his creativity. I mean, just an amazing artist that does not get the credit he deserves.
Absolutely.
Man, you got me pumped on that one. I want to spin it like right now. All right, let's go to another one here. How about that bad boy right there?
Ooh.
And you're dang right, I'm claiming him. Creed, My Own Prison. This is their debut album. And again, the first song that brought me to him was My Own Prison off of this. Just another band that just kind of became one of those bands that was cool to make fun of. I mean, Scott Stapp definitely makes it easy to make fun of him. But just from a band perspective, I mean, I saw them twice on this tour they're doing right now over the past year or so.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, the boys have still got it. It sounds just like it's the late 90s again. And the thing I've always thought that's kind of so amazing about Creed is there's bands that sound loud and big, and then there's bands that can do very emotional music. Not a lot of bands can put both of those together.
Yes.
Where you can put 50,000 people in a stadium and you can rock the heck out of the stadium and do it with almost overwhelmingly emotional music. Most bands cannot figure out how to put those two qualities together at a peak level. Creed does it, and they do it well. And seeing them on this tour, it was exactly that, man. It was just like some of the it was like, it's almost like some of the ways that you envision, like if you fantasize about being at a rock concert and like just like this overwhelming like ball of light comes from the stage and all of a sudden this amazing music and everything is just, it's like Creed actually creates that. And yeah, I mean, just amazing music. But yeah, you know, songs like Torn, My Own Prison, just, you know, What's This Life For? That was just how they opened up with their debut there. Fantastic band, fantastic album.
That's great stuff. You know, I really, you know, I stay away from, you know, the attitude of like, I don't even like, you know, the term like yacht rock, for example, or
Mhm.
just these different kind of terms that get thrown around and kind of pigeonhole people, throw them in a bucket and say like, oh, all this music's the same. It's not the same. And if you grew up with that, the reason why people start to get these I don't know, they start to like pigeonhole or judge these bands is because they hear their music a lot. The reason they hear their music a lot is because it's great.
Right.
There's a reason why you're walking through Target and they're playing it or whatever, you know. And I understand it, like people get burned out on it or whatever, but I do
Mhm.
my best just to ignore that. And they're another one, you know. I love bands like STP,
Mhm.
and you know, Alice in Chains, you know, a lot of those bands that I think are even now starting to get that sort of reputation of like dad rock or whatever. And it's like, I'm just not having it, man. Good
Mhm.
music is good music. Creed is great music. Like, let's just drop the I don't know, these definitions that we I don't know, that make us feel smart or whatever by pigeonholing everybody.
Yeah. Or at the very least, like dropping it to where it's not necessarily a judgment on the music.
Right.
You know, I usually like it was it Eddie Trunk or someone who's always talk about like I don't like to use the word like glam or hair metal because it was intended to, you know,
Yeah,
blah blah blah. And I remember one of the first times I heard someone say that because the first thing I thought was, no, I call it hair metal,
I know.
and that's what I love. It's like so it never even registered as being a negative thing to me.
Right.
It's like if the music sounds good and it makes me, you know, whatever, that's all that matters. Now we can call it whatever it is so we can reference blah blah blah, but that has nothing to do with the quality of the music, you know.
It's true. It kind of depends on, yes, it can be a term of endearment or it can be like a, you know, a negative connotation to it.
Right.
You're right. Because as soon as you said hair metal, I was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I think most people do use it the way that you were saying, though. It's like it's a way that I can take a quick jab without having to get into a discussion about it. And it's like, you know, okay, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Um,
I was gonna say real quick about Creed. I remember watching one of those episodes of Metal Evolution, that whole like 10, 12 part documentary about the evolution of metal music. They were talking about the grunge. And so they started talking about some of the more popular bands. They were interviewing the lead singer of Mudhoney, and he asked him, like, what did you guys think about like Creed and those bands like that? And he was like, oh, dude, we hated those bands. Like, yeah, you know, he's like dogging on left and right. And he's like, we used to call them the Vow bands. And he was like, what do you mean by the Vow bands? And he goes, you know, all those bands that used to sing like A-E-I-O-U,
oh
like
man.
singing the Vow. And I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, you
Yeah.
nailed it. But I love them. They were great.
Yeah. What's funny too, if you ask the bands like, hey, you know, how does it feel being one of the best grunge bands? They're almost always going to correct you. Like, hey, we just want to be a band and play great music or rock
Mhm.
music or whatever, you know, or and there's a
Yeah.
lot of other things. What was that? Somebody just did a documentary on yacht rock and they played a phone conversation. I heard it on like YouTube or something. I'm going to space out. Maybe somebody in the chat knows where they
Steely Dan, is that where you're
Steely
going?
Dan. Did you hear
Yeah.
that one? Yeah. And
Mhm.
and the guy and he goes, hey, I wanted to see if you would talk to us about this new yacht rock movie I'm making. He's all, what is it? And he's like, oh, about yacht rock. He goes, why don't you go bleep yourself, and hangs up. But you know, and there you go. You know, sometimes I don't know. I'm not saying I always side with the artist, but it's like at the same time, I get it. Like you don't want, you know, here is a great band that back in the 70s, no one was calling it yacht rock. No one was calling it
Mhm.
anything except great music. You know, if you liked
Right.
it. And then time goes on. Next thing we start putting little buckets together and stuff, and it's like, come on. Anyway,
No,
but I get your point, right? You know,
totally
I
agree.
use the term hair metal, and then I kind of bite my tongue because I'm like,
All right, what
all
do you
right.
got next?
Next up for me, this one's gonna be easy. Here we go. Name that tune, folks.
Oh gosh. Walk This Way, Aerosmith.
Yeah. No. You guys know, obviously, Madonna, Like a Virgin right there.
Oh, that's one I missed.
And there is the title track, Like a Virgin, on there. Classic, right? Hard to forget, if you were there for it. So Madonna, man, great stuff, dude. I really like True Blue. I think there's a lot of great stuff on there.
Yeah.
And I think, a lot of people like her early stuff. I do too. But with True Blue, I just felt like something about the musicianship that kind of changed up. By that, I mean, it was something about the drum machines and the synthesizers that they were using that I don't know who programmed that stuff, but it's just for me, it's a level up. And I just think True Blue is great, but Like a Virgin is going to be the one, right? So to call out when you're talking about title tracks. So there it is, Madonna, Like a Virgin.
Yeah, those are both great albums. Let's see. Let's go with this one here. How about a little Them Changes by Buddy Miles?
Ooh, a little Buddy Miles. Okay.
Little Buddy Miles there. Another great one here. This came out in 1970. And I don't know. I would think maybe most people know Them Changes from the Band of Gypsies with Hendrix.
I was going to say that's right when he was doing the stuff with Hendrix.
Yeah. And they did a pretty cool cover of, I shouldn't say a cover because Buddy Miles was still singing it on the Band of Gypsies, but this was kind of his, I guess, the studio album beforehand. And I mean, same song, just done a little bit differently, without Jimmy there. But yeah, great title track for again, another one of those just cool. I mean, how cool is that?
Dude, that picture is just
how freaking cool.
Hell yeah, baby.
That is awesome. That's Buddy.
That's cool. Yeah, man, Buddy Miles. There we go. I love him with Hendrix. Band of Gypsies, my favorite Hendrix album.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Today, ask me on another day, I might pick a different one. But
song to song, front to back, probably my favorite Hendrix album too.
Yeah, it's so good. It's just so great hearing him live, and he just shreds on that record. Tap Records, her first album is my favorite with Lucky Star. Yeah, lots of great hits on that one. Great Buddy Miles album. Hip hop sampled breaks from that album.
Yep.
Very cool. All right, here's another one you guys know and love. I was going to have another slow build up. I'm not even going to try.
Oh, yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. You want to call it out?
Mr. GM.
Yes. Wow, that was good. You just won. Name that tune, dude. Yeah, Faith, of course. George Michael's Faith. I didn't want to let it go too long because I don't know. I don't want to get the copyright strike and all that stuff if I can avoid it. Although I can already sense it's coming. But yeah, Faith. This is another great album. I love George Michael. I put him at the very, very top of male vocalists. Just phenomenal. And this album is a greatest hits album, basically. I mean, it just has so much great stuff on here. Father Figure and, just goes on and on. But yeah, George Michael, Faith, got to show him a little love. Rest in peace.
Yeah, that was an amazing album. Like every time I see, did you see that the documentary on Wham that was on Hulu or Netflix or whatever?
I did see a documentary. Does it mostly feature? Is it mostly about George Michael's life? Because I think I saw the one on George Michael. I don't think I saw the one on Wham. Okay,
yeah, it went from Wham, then it also went into George Michael's, but they spent a good time on both. But I remember the one overwhelming thing about that is not only seeing how talented George Michael was and all of that, but who's the other guy from Wham? I'm total brain fart.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But yeah, what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The amount of respect that I gained for that guy by watching that documentary was just off the charts, and just I guess like going back to like him and George initially meeting, like George being transferred to his school, and he was like the first kid that came up to him and said, hey, let's be friends and all of that. Then, next thing you know, they're Wham, and kind of getting to the point where he was saying, I could just see the talent that was there, and us as Wham was holding him back. And I just had to let my buddy go and do his thing and become the star that he wanted to bring.
Oh, that's cool.
Like they're having all these interviews, and you can see like the reporters almost trying to get them to pick a fight kind of thing. Like, don't you feel? He's like, look, my boy has to spread his wings. That's all this is about. And I get like my respect was just off the charts for that guy. I mean,
That's
It
cool.
was, it was almost like a Talladega Nights type of thing. You remember
I
that movie?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I love seeing those documentaries and stuff like that, but I almost always come away feeling just a little sad, especially
Mhm.
when people that have passed, and George Michael, of course, major like just confidence issues, which seems hard to believe, but just like,
Mhm.
just really struggle with that. And yeah, and and stuff. So anyway,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's what a fantastic singer. And that is such a cool story. I didn't realize that.
yeah. So, so awesome.
Yeah, Tap Records Last Christmas. That's a great one. And Andrew Ridgely, I guess that's the other guy in Wham. Uh,
Right.
the other one I love off Wham, Make It Big, is Everything She Wants. That's like one of my favorite
Yeah.
80s tunes. It's so good.
Mhm. Yeah. That has such a funky groove line underneath that
Yeah.
thing. That's an awesome track. All right. My next one here,
Oh,
King of Rock, baby.
you picked one I picked. Yes.
I mean, just one of the early albums that I consider to be like one of the early power rap albums that was
Yeah.
just, just about the punch of the delivery and I mean, yeah, it's just kind of, Run DMC back in 85, just really setting the whole thing off. But yeah, I mean, King of Rock is just so classic. And again, all the other good stuff on here too. You talk too much. Can you rock it like this? You're blind. If you can't see, you need to wear sunglasses like DMC.
It was the soundtrack
So
to our
good.
lives, dude. Walking through the halls of high school, rapping that stuff, man.
Oh
It
man.
wasn't Run DMC, it was Egyptian Lover, or it was, Houdini, or it was, one of those guys, man. Dougie
Yeah.
Fresh or whatever, man. Just great stuff.
So good. You're blind. If you can't see, you need to
You
wear
talk too
sunglasses like
much
DMC.
and you never shut up. So
Oh
good. So
man.
good. All right. Here's my next one.
Oh geez. I actually put that one back on the shelf.
You did?
Yeah.
You showed a different one by the same guy.
Yeah, that's what I did. I was like, let me just grab this other one instead and just stick to one.
I love you, dude. You're like, yeah, Jason won't have this one. He probably has Bark at the Moon, though, so I'll let him have it.
Oh, so good.
So good. Yeah, so good. This is such a, I just, man, dude, I call them the trifecta, those three Ozzy albums that, that all came out around this time. Of course, I'm going to blank on the titles and stuff, but, man, they're just so good, dude. They're just that 80s metal. That's just fantastic. I love Ozzy's vocal, the quality of his vocals and stuff always stand out as just being uniquely him. You always know when it's Ozzy.
Right.
And the guitars on here are fantastic. So yeah. And the songwriting, just some really great songwriting on these records too. So Bark at the Moon, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Title track.
Yeah, it was it like Diary of a Madman, Bark at the Moon, and Ultimate Sin.
Yeah, I got them right here. It's like,
yeah, like those three just. You talk about a way to come back from Sabbath, man. That was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff.
Now I gotta find him since I brought it up. So I'm going the wrong way. Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh yeah. So for me, it's like Bark at the Moon, Diary of a Madman, and Blizzard of Oz.
Oh, Blizzard. Yeah, skip over Blizzard. All right, next one here. This may be one that's kind of obvious, but I think definitely a good one. Roll the Bones by Rush. Considering that's one of my favorite Rush songs.
Is that OG?
No, this is that 2015 reissue.
Okay.
Which are still kind of going for a pretty penny now. All those 2014 reissues just kind of shot up overnight.
Well, they're reissuing like those 3 or 4 that came out in late 80s, early 90s. I forget who's putting them out now, if it's Analog Productions or who, but so finally they're going to be available again. So, but yeah,
they just had that box set that came out. I think they're doing the individuals that are coming next or something like that.
Okay.
But but yeah, I mean, yeah, just another great one. And yeah, Roll the Bones, I felt it's always kind of such an interesting song with Rush too, because it has kind of some of that Rush progressive stuff, but then also kind of like some of the bass lines it carry in is more of a funk type of stuff. That weird kind of Paula Abdul music rap in the middle of it always kind of throws me off. I still don't quite get that, but Rush saw the creativity and went. It sounds just like that the guy who's doing the guy / dog / whatever doing the rapping on the Paula Abdul album.
Yeah.
It sounds like the same person. But yeah, just be really creative. Love the melody on the chorus of that. Just one of those awesome creative Rush songs, Rush albums, period. So that's 1991, Roll the Bones.
That's cool. I'm looking forward to grabbing one when these reissues. They might be pre-ordering now. I don't know. But yeah, man, that's cool. I got, I have the ones I want, the Rush albums, 6 or 7 or 8 of them or whatever that came out, starting at their first record and into the mid 80s and stuff. I have those, but I know some of those later ones are great too. I need to add those to the collection.
Yeah. Counterparts. I mean, that's one that I really got into and, has a number of things on that are some of my favorite Rush stuff to listen to, like Animate Me and a few other things that are just like fantastic tracks that I just never caught on to until a lot later.
Yeah. Awesome. That's a good one. All right.
What do you got?
Well, this is going to give it away immediately because I think it's the first word in the song. Comes up immediately, but here it is, guys. You guys catch that?
Is I don't know if I know that one.
Oh, when I hold it up. Oh, I hope you know this one. I've talked about it before. That's Daz Band's Joystick.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like that kind of a robotic voice, Joystick, in the beginning when it first comes on. But man,
I totally didn't remember that one.
Yeah, self-titled off the Joystick album, Daz Band. Love Daz Band. Love that song. Again, I know I overplayed this one because I talk about it anytime I can, just because it's like it is locked into the 80s in such a strong way, man. It's like there's 80s music, and then there's songs that are such a part of their time. They almost, it would not work any other time because it's talking about, joystick, which of course that's not even a term we use anymore, is it? I mean, that's something we used to talk all the time in the 80s with arcade games and all that stuff. And of course, you got the double meaning on there, of course. But part of the reason why I love it, man, it's fun because, yeah, I was there for it when it came out and it was so fun to listen to. But, now it's just such a part of the time. I can't hear it without being super nostalgic. So, yeah, Daz Band's Joystick.
Nice. All right, I see your joystick
and raise me,
and I raise you one. Do it till you're satisfied.
BT Express,
BT Express.
I don't know that one.
Again, I bet it's one that as soon as you heard it, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." But just just in one of those ultimate funk groove type of things. It's the kind of song you hear in any type of Superfly movie. When he's getting dressed and putting on his boots and his fur coat to go out and kick somebody's, you know what? The groove to Do It Till You're Satisfied is what's playing in the background when he's walking down the street and the whole city background is taking place. And like, oh, Do It Till You're Satisfied right there. Just makes such a killer track. Awesome, awesome funk album right there.
Hell yeah, dude.
So yeah, that's came out 74.
Well, I've been filling in some holes in my, my funk, R&B, and electro, collection, but there's another hole right there, got to be filled. Tap Rigger says, I met the Daz Band and had them sign my albums. They had so many great stories. Wow, that is really
awesome.
Cool. Classic BT Express album, so many good songs.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if you get this. I don't know. This one might have I don't remember if this one has like a long intro. If it does, I'll just skip it, but
oh yeah.
I know, obviously it's familiar, right? You've heard it.
That's did the barge.
Boom. Impressive. Most impressive. Yes. Rhythm of the Night. I'm not even saying that's the best song on here. This is a good album, and it's probably one of those ones that gets a little played out, but DeBarge. Do not sleep on DeBarge. Don't
all.
sleep on El DeBarge. Man, just really, really awesome stuff. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I can say. Everyone's heard Rhythm of the Night, right? I mean, and
Great
DeBarge,
video.
man, still going strong on my turntable. So there it is. Rhythm of the Night.
Yeah. With some of the best hairdos you'll ever see on an 80s
Yes.
cover on the front of that thing, man. I like, what were they thinking?
Absolutely. Oh, they covered pretty much every bad 80s style on that cover.
Exactly. Oh, such a fun album, though.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back over to the hip hop side of things. Why don't you just call me D Nice?
Yes. My name is D Nice.
I hate to admit it. Taking out your suckers and you don't know how I did it. Man,
Classic.
You talk about going back to a trunk bumper. This was one of the absolute cassettes that you put inside of your $500 car with the $1,000 stereo system and just bumped it to no end, man. That D Nice track was just on point. Oh my gosh, it was so good. That and also the TA808. Remember that was a trunk or amp buster, as we used to call them back in the day.
Bro,
man, sorry about the glare, guys. But yeah, I mean, that's just this is high school. This is pure high school right there. Still to this day, do not get tired of listening to it. And one of those tracks too, like, yeah, it bumped your trunk, but it's also one that if it was put on at a prom, at a party or something like that, it was also one of the ultimate dance tracks of the night because it just has such an awesome bass groove to it. And yeah, just call me D Nice.
That's what's so cool about that era of hip hop. You know, some of my favorite stuff, it just has that groove, man. It gets you locked in. Tap says D Nice with the turtle sample buzzsaw. Okay, I didn't know that.
So nice.
That's a cool one. And another one that's on my want list. I don't have it, but it's right there on the on Discogs.
Yeah, and those are hard to find. Vinyl, CD, like all that stuff is hard to find. Cassette you can come across pretty easy.
Yeah.
But even the CDs are not easy to find.
That's the thing. A lot of the stuff I had on cassette, you know, a lot of stuff that I'm showing and things from that era is like, that's the kind of the cassette era for me. Cause I needed to have it for the boombox. I needed to have it for the Sony Walkman. You know, I needed to hear it while I was on the road. But, you know, I'm not really rocking tapes anymore. So I got to find it on wax, you know? All right, here's my next one. Real easy. Here we go.
I'm assuming that's your boy, MJ.
I'm saying, come on now. Only one creaky door like that. That's on Thriller. So I always show the other one. This is the 12-inch single. So I figured I show this one because I don't know. It's such a cool cover. When I was a kid, man, this would be hanging up on my wall for sure when I was a 12-year-old. So yeah, that's my boy right there with the title track Thriller, originally called Starlight, and then totally rewritten. But man, what a great tune. Yeah, and what a great album, right? The rest is history. But yeah, so I had to pick Thriller.
Nice. All right, next one here. Let's go with the Ides of March Vehicle. Another fantastic one here. Do you recall this one off the top of your head?
I don't. I wonder if you've shown it before. I don't remember, but yeah, it kind of looks familiar, but I don't remember it.
I don't know if I have it. Again, it's one of those ones where you can't be around music as long as you have and not heard it a million times.
Yeah, I mean,
you just don't know it by title.
Right.
You know, like I'm your vehicle, baby. I'll take you anywhere you want to go. Does that ring a bell?
And not ringing a bell.
I want you, got to have your child. Great God in heaven, you know it. Just such a banger of a track. And I remember I heard.
What's the track again?
Vehicle.
Okay, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah,
just for a second. Mm-hmm. I still don't know it.
Get into the chorus and you would.
Okay.
But it was so funny too, because I'd known this track and had heard it. Matter of fact, that the band that used to play at our basketball games, they used to play that all the time. And I remember I was down in Texas years ago, and I got this album when I, finally stumbled across it. And I looked on the back, and I was like, I didn't realize that not only was the band wasn't black, but not a single person in the band is black. Just one of those ones you assumed there was a bunch of black dudes jamming.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, really fantastic track, and just a classic.
That's cool, man. The Freight loves the $500 car with the $1,000 stereo. Absolutely. That's the comment of the night, man. We all had them. Call Me D-Nice. Absolutely. That is the song. Vehicle is awesome, says Freight. And Tap says, oh, yeah, I know that song. Never knew the name. Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to the whole thing later. See if it rings a bell. All right. Here's my next one. Gonna be, I'm sure, easy to pick up on. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Another one from my boy. If you don't know the tune, but we're talking title track, so you have to know what track it is, right? Because you know the record.
Yep.
Off the Wall.
That's it.
That's it right there, baby. So yeah, again, I was rocking this probably on cassette tape before Thriller came out, and then Thriller came out, and it was like the next day, my mom was at the store buying me the Thriller jacket, the white glove, the socks, everything, right? So, but just took it to a whole nother level. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people would say this is his best record, even over Thriller. I mean, hard to argue that, I still think I like Thriller, but I mean, this is just not because this isn't just a phenomenal record. I mean, it's like 1A and 1B. They're just both so good. So a little Off the Wall right there.
Yeah. Another great one. Let's go back to the 80s for a second. How about a little Alphaville by Forever Young by Alphaville? I mean, another classic that everyone knows.
That's a great one.
Yeah, another one of those staples too, that just once you hear it, it really kind of defines the 80s. It's kind of right there with Aha, Take on Me. And it's just classic. Really, really good stuff. I never quite understood that cover, though. It always kind of gave me the creeps, but
it is kind of creepy, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a great title track right there.
They have some cool covers. Yeah, that one's a little weird, but
yeah.
Tap says, is that the album with or without the Rock With You claps? I'm pretty sure this one has the claps. This isn't an OG. I need to get an OG, but I want the one without the claps. So it's kind of, it's kind of tough. It's not like, I don't think in Discogs they tell you which ones have claps, which ones don't, as far as I know. If you know, Tap, let me know, because I need one without the claps. But yeah, it's a reissue. I'm pretty sure it has the claps. I'm pretty sure because I listened for it and it's there. All right, well, let's stick with it. I'm going to give you another layup here.
We Will Rock You, Queen.
Are you joking?
Yeah. It was so obvious I had to come up with something on that one.
So yeah, of course, as I'm flipping through my records, I get to MJ. I'm like, okay, well, that's the thing too. That's interesting about a lot of these bands is that obviously Michael's one that loved to have a title track on his records, right? I mean, all three of these, and not all bands were like that. Some of them avoid it like the plague, and then none of their records have a title track on them. So anyway, I thought it'd be interesting. MJ obviously loves the title track, so this one's bad. I swear I'm done with Michael Jackson, showing Michael Jackson records, but I had to show him just because I just thought it was interesting that every one of these had a title track on it. So
yeah, I never thought about that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And man, that trifecta, Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad.
Man.
Good gracious.
That's a nice little trilogy.
Oh my God. Serious trilogy. Let's keep it on kind of the funky / jam band side. Nice. War, The World Is a Ghetto. I mean, obviously the title track is absolutely fantastic, but yeah, this right here is just kind of just a lesson in music. I mean, I don't even know how else to put it. Just so many flavors of so many different backgrounds kind of coming together just to make awesome, groovy. Yeah, I mean, again, you have to listen to it. You can't really describe this one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, obviously The World Is a Ghetto is definitely a great song off of here, but we have stuff also like, the Cisco Kid. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Four Corner Room, just all kinds of great stuff on here. Just a true, pure jam album right there. So that's War. Yeah.
I was making me think of Eric Burden in War. Spill the Wine. That's the song. I was been sitting here trying to think of it. You know that song, Spill the Wine? Take That Pearl.
From what you described, not just off the title.
Oh, it's
It's
such
not
a
ringing
good
the
song.
bell.
So Eric Burden from the Animals, who was the lead singer in the Animals,
Right.
worked with War for a while, and they did the song "Spill the Wine." There is a awesome rendition of it that they perform it live, and it's kind of this big video screen in the background. If you have a chance to catch that video, I'll send you a link. It is so good. It's so good.
Okay. Yeah, I have to check that
Yeah,
out.
Tap says you'll know when you hear it. You'll probably know when you hear it. I'm afraid to play it
Right.
here. I know a lot of people play music on YouTube. I swear I am a magnet. I get dinged anytime I try it, and we're doing it again, but I'm trying to keep it to tiny little snippets. Yeah, War, man. That's a great. I think you hooked me up with that record, as a matter of fact. That was one of the ones.
Yeah, I think I did actually. Now I
Yeah,
think about it.
yeah.
Nice.
Love it, love it. All right, here we go, guys. Everybody knows that little slide bass line.
Mhm.
All right, that's as much as I'm going.
Yeah.
Little Cool in the Gang action for you guys. Little ladies' night, self-titled. Ladies' Night. This is a great. Too Hot is on this one too. I always have to say Too Hot because I just love that tune. It's so good, man.
Yeah.
And this is one of those records, man. 9, 10-year-old kid running around just loving this stuff. And it seems funny now. I don't know if you think this way too, or people in the chat think this way, but when I think of myself, I've always loved music. I mean, always. I talk about getting the 8-track of Kiss debut album and Donna Summer on the radio when I was 7 years old. When I think about it, like when I picture myself at that time, it doesn't see that weird. But when I hear 7 and I look at other 7-year-olds and I think there's no way they're listening to that stuff. So it's kind of crazy. I don't know if you guys are the same way or if you are, Brandon, but it's like, man, I feel like I was down as a young kid, man. Like I would pick this up and spin it as like a 10-year-old,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I exact same way, man. I feel like, and again, maybe I don't know what's going through every 7-year-old's head and blah, 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 but it's just like, I remember that when I would hear stuff like that, it wasn't just like a fun thing to do and jump around and have fun listening to the music. It was moving me. Like it was making me think about things and feel things that I couldn't comprehend at the time. But I was like, I just knew something is happening to me, but I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to put it into words. I just need to hear her sing that one more time. I just need to hear those horns one more time. And yeah, but I don't know. But I don't know if that's like a difference that people that like all of us here in the VC, if maybe it just hits us different and that's why we are where we are as compared to people that just, I don't know. But to me, it was definitely something on a very, very deep emotional level for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like, and I don't know if some of it has to do, well, whatever. I don't have to get too deep on it. I'll sit here for hours talking about it, but
yeah, no, go ahead, man.
There is something about just not having that many options when you were a kid, right? It was like 3 channels on TV, listening to a record, maybe playing some video games. I mean, or playing with your Rubik's Cube or whatever. It wasn't like there was a lot. And as a kid, you need that stimulation. And I would go to music a lot. So, and I did all the other stuff too, playing Nerf football or baseball or whatever it is and stuff. But man, I don't know. There's just something about music. So I just feel so grateful that I did get so much music when I was young.
Yeah. I remember my favorite wrestler was like, this was like I was maybe 6 or somewhere around there. Like first grade was a guy named Ernie Ladd. And I remember for some reason, every time I heard the song, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Run by Aretha Franklin, whenever the horns would kick in with the those horns always made me think of Ernie Ladd. I just completely connected it to him. And to this day, if I hear that song, I'm thinking about Ernie 40 plus years ago. And I have no idea why, but like I said, it stirred whatever it was that made me like Ernie. That song stirred the exact same thing.
That's awesome. Half the records on my shelf are like that. Each one is just a time machine. It just takes me back and it reminds me, the moment that I was playing it and the people I was with. And, yeah, it always, when you get a little bit older, it almost gets a little bit kind of melancholy where it's like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, that person's not even alive anymore. But even though I'm thinking about him because of the song or whatever,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's just incredible how it can just tap into that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you sharing some amazing stories about your mom and some of the Grateful Dead stuff. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
I still think about that all the time. Like it's like it's that moving. I mean, it's like I don't know, we're getting completely off base, but I guess it's also kind of part of what we do is just start talking about
Oh yeah.
music. It's like one of my most memorable stories here in the VC, and this is a guy that doesn't post anymore at all, but he was talking about his uncle who was really sick, and they were going to see him in the hospital, and it was like an hour away or 40 minutes away or whatever. So he's like, I go see him, and and like I'm gonna get welled up just telling the story. It's not even my story. And he was like, we're talking, we start talking music and this type of thing. And he had never heard the song Landslide. And he was like, how
Mhm.
can you not know Landslide? And he was like, next time I come, I'm going to bring my guitar and I'm going to play Landslide for you when I come back next week. Well, they were coming back next week and he died, like on the way back, and he passed away. So he was like, so, we were with the family for a while and we turned around and we were headed home. We decided to stop at like an Applebee's or something to eat. And he's like, we went in, and as soon as we sat down, it was like Landslide came on. Oh, and he was like, I knew it was my uncle telling me, don't worry about it. I heard it.
Oh
And it
man.
was just like, can I ever hear that song again and not hear that and feel that story? And it's not even mine. But it was just so powerful in the way that he shared that. And it's like, geez.
I
Just
remember you telling that before, man. That is such a incredible and moving story.
so
Um,
amazing.
yeah, it's like, it's funny, it's easy to say to think about music, and if it's something that you don't identify with, you just say, oh yeah, no, I'm not into that. That music sucks or whatever and stuff.
Mm,
And it's like, but there's some music for us that is just so part of our DNA. It's beyond criticism, as I've said. It's just
mhm,
like, for me, Journey, Fleetwood Mac. I mean, these are records that my mom would play. And, I was an only child and she raised me by herself. My parents split up. So it was me and her in a little apartment. I'm saying, like, we were barely making ends meet. And yet we had the turntable with some records, and and one thing, we could just have fun putting on some Journey and singing and dancing and stuff. And our apartment was so small that I'd be sitting there on the living room floor playing my Atari, listening to like Journey, and then she'd be in the kitchen making something, some rice-a-roni probably or whatever, and or noodle roni or whatever, just singing and dancing and everything. I don't know, it just brings back such good memories, and in a time that
yeah,
was just a very modest kind of childhood, that the
yeah.
music almost like made it bearable and kind of made it fun and kept it
Mhm.
going and stuff. So when I hear that stuff, that's what I think about. People are so sick of hearing, Don't Stop Believing. It's like, I can't that song will never be spoiled for me. I don't care how many times I hear it. It's just reminds me of that time being 9. My mom was taking care of us the best she could and playing those Journey records, and I'll just never forget it, man. It's just so cool.
That's awesome, man. Jeez, that's so awesome. All right, we'll try to get back to the actual subject here, because
Well, when we were doing the pre-recorded stuff, we would talk about a lot of that stuff. I know it feels like the clock is ticking when we're live and stuff, so we don't get into it as much, but
yeah.
yeah.
All right, so the next one here, how about a little Disturbed?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and here we have 10,000 Fists, title track off of this one. Again, another great Disturbed album. Probably song for song, my favorite Disturbed album. I mean, you don't have The Sickness on this one because that was on The Sickness, which may be my favorite song by them. But stuff like 10,000 Fists, the title track, Just Don't Stop, Stricken. They do a cover of the Genesis Land of Confusion on here as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a fun
So
one.
so just a really cool album. And I've always said this one really kind of plays like one of the ultimate, I don't know what the proper word to put to it is, but like teenage angst or teenage rebellion type of albums.
Really? Okay.
Like it really captures all of that stuff between the music itself, some of the subject matter within some of the music, and then like even looking at the cover, like the music really connects well with the overall feel of this album. So Disturbed kind of doing their things. I guess early on in their career there. So really, really good album.
That's awesome. Sorry, I'm listening. I told myself when I brought a water bottle out here without a cap on it that I'm not going to spill this. Of course, I just dumped it everywhere. So
yeah, go grab a towel, man.
Yeah, I think I got most of it. All right. Yeah, Disturbed. I mean, look, that's a group that would come up, the name and stuff, and I know I've heard their stuff, but it's another one where I'm just not. I don't own any other music or anything, so I need to take a deeper dive into that.
One awesome one to check out by them, especially if someone's maybe not necessarily a big fan, but want to kind of tip their toe in the water on their not their last album, but I think the one before. They did an amazing cover of the Sound of Silence, of Simon and Garfunkel's Sound of Silence. And what's his name is like a trained professional vocalist in some regard. I mean, he does this kind of metal rock stuff, but he's he has a very strong background and some different vocal training and stuff like that. And he shows it on that cover. And you would never think in a million years that someone could actually take Sound of Silence and take the emotion and the power of that song to another level. And Disturbed nailed it.
Wow.
So if nothing else, just at least check out that song and then see what you think.
Yeah, that sounds like an unlikely match. So that's really cool, man. I got to hear that.
Great stuff. All right, what do you got next?
All right, next up. Thanks, The Freight. Appreciate you. I got this one.
Oh, got it.
You got it?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
No parking on the dance floor.
Oh, dang, dude. You are good at this game, man. That's a few you have picked up quickly. No parking on the dance floor. Freakazoid, robots, please report to the dance floor. I mean, dude, this is just fire. Again, I know I overshowed this record, but it's funny. There's this. I don't remember anyone ever using the phrase cheap heat, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing it everywhere now. So here it is. This is cheap heat. Get yourself a little No Parking on the Dance Floor, man, and you can rock out like we did back in the day with the cardboard and the white gloves. And No Parking on the Dance Floor, man. Midnight Star. Again,
so good.
Takes me back.
Yes.
So, man, good. Dude, you were fire at this game.
Oh, when it comes to that R&B stuff, man, I know my engines, man.
A little horn. I know that horn. That's No Parking on the Dance Floor.
I know my Midnight Star. That's my Gap band. Like I know my engines. This is a banger and a half too. I think another album that doesn't quite get the credit that it deserved. Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel.
Yes.
This was his release from 1988. And, this album almost plays like an R&B popish thriller when you really get down to it. So when you think about the major hits that he had off of this with Don't Be Cruel, title track, My Prerogative was on this one. Roni was on this one. Rock Witchy was on this one. Wow. Every Little Step was on this one. I mean, those were huge hits across the board for him. And he had, I think, one album that came out, I think it was A Girlfriend or whatever, that came out right before this, after he left New Edition. And this really was the album where he went from, he was the teenager in New Edition to the man that was Bobby Brown. Like, this is the album where he made that turn and kind of let everyone know the New Edition thing is no longer a thing. Yep. And I mean, just killed it on this album. But yeah, Don't Be Cruel, just a banger and a half right there.
That's a great one, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my New Edition is locked down, man. I don't have any Bobby solo stuff, but yeah, man, you're right. That is such a great record.
Yeah.
All right, you're on a roll, man. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Already?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But with the 80s R&B stuff, man, I just need a good 2 or 3 notes and I'm right there with that.
Dude. I can name that tune in one note. Okay, what is it?
Little Juicy.
Oh, check out. Dude, you are fire. I still don't know how to say it. Matume, but
M to me, almost like into me.
Oh, M to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Little Juicy Fruit. Actually, that one's got the hype on it.
I was gonna say with the hype, man. Holy cow, that's nice.
With the hype.
That
Even
is
got the
nice.
$6.50 price sticker. It says Soul CBS on it. So that's cool too. But yeah, man, Juicy
Nice.
Fruit right there. Sampled, of course, by Notorious B.I.G., I believe. But yeah, man, what a great jam right there, man. That is just a great jam. So yeah, Juicy Fruit is the album title, and it's the track that we all know and love too.
Nice. That was one of the ones I skipped because I was like, "There's no way he's not gonna pick that one." So why even pull it out where I got to put it away?
Well, thank you.
All right. How about a simple one, but one kind of right to the point? For those about to rock,
Oh
we
yes, dude.
salute you. You know, I mean, AC/DC, I guess they have a few, obviously, but yeah, this is the one that really kind of stood out to me because that's actually one of my favorite AC/DC songs. Like,
Mine
there's so many,
too.
yeah, so many other songs that you love, but it seems like most of them are a little easy to get played out, and you might have to get away from them for a while and then come back. For those about to rock is the one that every time you hear that initial just kind of drum beat and those little like not the riffs, but just like those chords that Angus hits leading into that song. It really is just kind of an anthem that's like for those about to rock, like get ready to do this.
I used that song. I don't know. I don't know if it was for this. So I post these before the show. I do a little thing on Instagram, like a little video, and I used that today on something. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, man, everyone knows
Nice.
it. It's
That's
man, dude.
yeah, it's just like that's just a get ready. It's like it's time. It's like you're getting ready for the big battle royal or something. It's like it just has such a build up to it.
The kick drum comes in and the
Yeah,
chords start coming in, and it's like, oh yes, that has like a long lead into it.
yeah, big
And
time.
once it gets going, man, you were just rocking.
Just builds. And I remember, I think it was on the 4 tour with Godsmack. They used that for the intro.
Really?
And they played like a good half of it or so. And of course, the screens up there and like, you know, the flashbacks from concerts and stuff like that. And then right when I won't go into the part, but like when it really kicks in, they shot up this big shot of Dimebag from Pantera on the screen, like a shot of him.
Oh.
And the crowd would just lose their mind. And you're just like, we're at a Godsmack show, like they're blasting for those about to rock, getting ready for the show after the lights have cut down, and then they're going to throw Dimebag up on the wall. It was just like, there's nothing left to do but rock.
Oh my gosh, you're right, dude.
So awesome.
That is
Oh,
awesome.
that was so awesome. Such a great memory.
That is fire, dude.
But yeah.
So Tap Record says this is a military sticker. Yeah, so there it is. You guys can catch that. Yeah, Soul CBS 650 on that M2A.
Oh, it's like sold on a military base or something?
Yeah, I guess so. Military price sticker. Yeah, so must have been
Oh.
probably on a base or something there.
Wow.
That's cool. All right, here we go. Next up.
Don't worry. Oh yeah.
As far as you gotta go.
Yeah.
Boom, Little Prince right there, 1999 title track. Who didn't listen to this if you were a kid, you know, before 1999, you know, in the 80s or the 70s or whatever, and just count down the years until 19, like 2000 just seemed like it was the future, man. It was going to be the Jetsons.
Right.
We're going to be flying in cars, and you know, and press a button and food was going to come out of a little door. And this was, I don't know, I always thought of this as kind of that thing, like 1999, that just seems like the future. And of course, now it's forever ago, you know, 26 years ago or whatever. But still a classic song, 1999, self-titled, great record too, man. Lots of great stuff on this. Pre-Purple Rain Prince, just fantastic stuff. So yeah, a little 1999 right there.
Yeah, you start talking about 1999 seeming so far in the future. I saw like a little meme thing today that said, like in Back to the Future, Marty McFly got into the DeLorean and went back to 1955.
Yeah.
Like he says that's the equivalent today of you getting into a DeLorean and going back to 1995.
I know.
And you're like, geez, it is.
1995, it seems like yesterday.
Right.
How can that be the 50s? That's so weird. I know.
Like, literally, that's how far back he went. And
and when he went into the future, what year was it? It was 2000 and
I don't remember that one.
No, it's past now though. I remember when I did a little screenshot of it when that time came. A lot of people were posting like when the very date and the moment that it shows in the movie. Like people were screenshotting it when it passed.
Like Marty just showed up somewhere.
Yeah, they go to 2015.
That's
That was the
crazy.
future. So when you watch that second movie, they're in 2015, dude. That's 10 years ago.
That is insane.
It's so crazy.
Gosh, where's the time going?
I know.
All right, next one here.
Oh man,
classic, little Jethro Tull Aqualon here. Creepy as heck, but then also definitely a classic masterpiece. I mean, just so much uniqueness to that. This is a cool one here too, because that's a white label promo.
Ooh, very
kind of nice. But yeah, another great one there. I guess everybody knows this. I don't have to say anything about it.
Yeah, obviously I spent a lot of time listening to that. Even when I was young, I would hear Jethro Tull. That's the big one. Thick as a Brick, I think, was the other one. And then only in the last, say, 10 years did I start kind of sampling other stuff of his. And man, dude, there's some really good stuff, other records and stuff now that I need to pick up of his. Obviously, a great vocalist, but also a master flutist or flautist or flute player, however you say it.
Yeah.
Probably the best flute player in rock, right? I mean, just so good and unique and really great stuff.
Yeah. I mean, good enough to beat Metallica for the metal performance of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember the very first year that was at the Grammys? The very first year they had a metal category. And I think it was the year when it was I think Justice for All was they at that point of Metallica. And
which is a great record.
They gave it to
got it. That's happened a few times. Yeah, when they get a new category and then an old schooler takes it, and it's kind of like, come on.
It's so weird.
All right, here's my next one.
Okay.
That's all you get.
Yeah, that's all you need for that one.
That's all you need. All right, sticking with Prince, Little Purple Rain on that one, self-titled again. Prince, another one that, like MJ, there was a lot of self-titled records with tracks on there and stuff. So, I mean, man, dude, this is the one. Like 1,000 memories connected to this record also. Yeah. And like you said, everyone knows it. Not a lot to say about it, but Purple Rain, just classic and just a beautiful tune. I mean, it just, I don't know, man. I dare you to listen to this. If you're feeling a little melancholy or, you just need a little, I don't want to say a pick me up, but if you need to get into your feelings, don't cry when you hear Purple Rain. I dare you.
Yeah, that's another one of those amazing albums that shows Prince's genius, because it's always find it so weird that even if I go back and listen to it now, like the gazillion times I've heard When Doves Cry or Take Me With You, it's like I still cannot understand how he came up with that. Usually if you hear the finished product, it becomes kind of clear, like I can see how your steps took you there.
Right.
I still can't see how he got to When Doves Cry. Like it's just his creativity is just so off the charts.
Let's Go Crazy. I mean, Baby I'm a Star. Baby I'm a Star is my go-to when I just need to like sing at the top of my lungs and just get down. It's such a great one, man.
Yeah. Awesome stuff.
Tap says, grew up with those stickers. Dad was in the Army. That's cool. And then follow up with, how's the family? The meanest line in the movie. Yeah, I actually watched that Purple Rain a few years ago thinking, oh, this will be kind of goofy. I'll just put it on and watch it. Man, that's a good film. And it actually holds up.
Yeah.
They did a good job on it.
And he also had kind of a nice little triple there, because between 1999, Purple Rain, and like Parade that came right after that.
Around the World in a Day, I think, right? Was
that before Parade?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was the one right before Parade. I think. Okay. But then you also get like,
I can't. Was it Around the World then Parade, or Parade then Around the World?
Yeah, maybe someone knows. I think I'm saying Around the World.
I have it right here. Let's see. Prince.
I could be wrong.
99, Purple. No, I think you're right. Around the World in the Day was 85, and then Parade was 86. So you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I got them all going all the way through the 80s. I'll just show them, man, because I pulled them out. There's For You, record number 1 already. Great stuff on this record. And then we got self-titled right there. I Want to Be Your Lover. Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad. Great stuff on that one. And then we got Dirty Mind, of course, right there. Great one. This has Dirty Mind. When You Were Mine, that's a great one.
Yeah, it's a great track. And the thing I want to say really quick before you move on from those two, when I look at those covers, especially the back cover on the second album, like when you look at those things, that's before Prince knew he was going to be big. Like he wasn't the mega superstar. That's him giving it a shot. And it's like he had the balls
jump on a winged horse,
butt naked on a winged horse, and he's got a perm on the front cover. And the next one, he's in a G-string with a jacket.
I mean, yeah, man, he was going shirtless immediately. You know, there's the second album, self-titled. Now he's got the, look at that. You're right. He's in like his undies.
Dude was like, it's all or nothing. He's like, screw it. It is all or nothing.
Then he got dressed up for a little controversy right there.
That's a great one.
This is kind of the first kind of where we're hearing the modern, what would become
right
from the next couple albums that were coming out, Lady Cab Driver and that kind of stuff. 1999 I showed, and then Purple Rain, and then Around the World in a Day. Great album, great track too. Love that song.
Yeah.
And Raspberry Beret is on that one. And then Parade, of course, with Kiss. But also the B-side of Kiss is called Mountains. Yes. You guys don't know Mountains, go hear it. It is so good.
Yeah. And if you want to hear the musical genius of Prince, go listen to the intro to Sometimes It Snows in April.
Oh, man.
Total, just total beauty. The unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a great one. When Prince passed, the woman on Saturday Night Live, I can't remember her name, unfortunately, but she did a tribute to Prince where she sang that, and it's just so moving. I didn't know she could sing, first of all, and then she just did this beautiful rendition of it. I was like, oh my God, this is just Tap says, did you know the studio wanted John Travolta as the lead? Oh my gosh. I maybe at some point I knew that, but I totally forgotten.
As the lead in what?
You're talking about in Purple Rain, Tap? What's up, AA? Thanks for being here. Shout out, AA. Yeah, you're probably talking about Purple Rain, right, Tap?
Huh.
Maya Randolph, Minnie Rupert's daughter. Sorry, now I'm kind of lost, Tap. Okay, you're up, right?
Yeah, I'm up. All right. Yeah. I'm getting lost too.
Purple Rain, yeah, okay, gotcha, Tap.
All right, next one. Hair of the Dog by Nazareth.
With the Obi.
Yeah. Because now you're messing with a son of a bitch. Great line.
Yes.
A great sleazy rock line right there. But again, another one of those albums that a lot of people probably know that being the quote unquote hit off of it. But I mean, just a lot of great B-sides on this album. Just some good old fashioned kind of hard, almost like Deep Purple type of rock and stuff like that, but just some really, really good stuff on here.
Yeah.
So yeah, another fantastic one there. That was from 75, I think.
Oh yeah. That's awesome. All right, next up, here we go. Oh wait, did I play that one yet? No, I haven't.
No.
Do I need to go again? Let me go again. I want to give people a chance to see if anyone knows that. Not ringing a bell yet? I'll play it one more time.
Trying to play it out, but
Orange Margin, yes, coming in clutch. The System, a little Don't Disturb This Groove.
Oh,
man, dude. I freaking love this song, and it is another hype sticker, man. I love to see it right there. Yeah, I got lucky on a bunch of these. A lot of hypes on a lot of these sort of funky 80s kind of funky R&B records that I have. But yeah, man, the system. I to be honest with you, I've always known "Don't Disturb This Groove." I didn't know it was a band called The System. I had no idea what that was. I thought, really, The System? But the track I know very well. So yeah, I love that one, man. Such a great tune. So yeah, little "Don't Disturb This Groove."
Yeah, the only song I remember by The System was "Baptize the Beat."
Huh.
And one of the reasons I remember it so well is no matter how many times I listen to it, I cannot find the beat in that song.
Oh, really?
I can't figure out what they're doing. It's like, where is the beat? So actually, they made an appearance on Beat Street.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. When they're auditioning acts for the Roxy, the New Year's Eve, there's like Tina, what's her name, is there, and then there's one more artist that performs, and then The System is on stage, and actually they're doing "Baptize the Beat." That's where I first learned that song.
Oh, that's cool. I need to go back and watch that, dude. It's been forever since I've seen that.
It's like a little 15-second, 20-second cameo they're performing on stage, and
hell yeah, that's cool. Tap says, "You Are in My System" is a classic dance track. Very cool.
Yeah, that's definitely a band I need to kind of learn a bit more about. I'm not very up on a lot of their stuff at all. Well, let's go with kind of a give me, but Love Gun by Kiss. Of course, the song Love Gun. And when it comes to listening to Kiss, Love Gun, Deuce, and Turn on the Night, those are my 3 favorite Kiss songs across the board.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Never Lose Their Punch. I mean, again, that comes on in the car. It's always time to crank it. So as common as that one is, I felt like that was worthy of showing.
That's awesome, dude. That's funny because I almost pulled that. That's a very rare occasion where I let you have that one.
Nice.
I have this. Oh no, he's gonna show it. All right, so here it is. This is the thumbnail. We'll see. Who knows? This is the thumbnail, guys. Oh.
Tupac.
Yeah, I forgot that's how the song started. Right out of the shoot. A little Beatles love right there. Help. Now that's a layup of all layups right there.
Oh man, okay.
Oh man, okay. A little help, and not a little help from my friends. That would come a little later, but yeah, there's help. I need somebody, but not just anybody. The Beatles, love my Beatles, you know. And so here it is, a little self-title right there with help. Yes, that's our. So it's like, even though I know that one.
Oh, a little help from my friends. That would have been a good Joe Cocker pick.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Man, his performance of that at Woodstock, just. Whew.
So one of the like just defining moments of Woodstock, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So good.
Totally agree. Here's one for you. The Andre True Connection. More.
Dude, I got to give you the blank stare, man.
Again, I think one that soon, if you heard it, remember she was a porn star back in the 70s.
Oh, really?
Kind of broke out and did this kind of disco album. Remember, more. How do you like it? How do you like it? It's just such a fun disco tune.
Hold on. Let's see. I'll try to get a couple seconds in. Here we go.
You want to hear it at the beginning.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
I think I do remember that, though.
Matter of fact, you remember the song Steal My Sunshine by Lynn?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's a breakdown in the middle of this song, and it's note for note the song for Steal My Sunshine by Lynn. As soon as you hear it, you're like, holy cow, are they going to start singing You Can Steal My Sunshine? It's a note for note sample. But yeah, it's just one of those ones that's kind of, it's just fun, silly, and it's just doing what the disco thing does. But yeah, she was a porn star turned disco queen for a little while.
That's funny. Dude, Steal My Sunshine. Now that right there, dude. When that came out, I mean, that was the jam, man. It was just that fun summer song, you know what I mean? It was just so cool.
Yeah. Well, make sure you go back and listen to that, because now that you like that song so much, it's going to be funny just how like you guys didn't even change a single thing about it.
I got it right here. Yep, that's cool. That's cool. All right. I'll get back to my playlist.
All right.
Um,
Something harder than the Beatles. Help. Help. Oh.
okay.
Funny.
Okay. Gotta skip Run DMC, King of Rock. You pulled it. That's a great one, dude. Great minds think alike. Okay, how about this? I almost don't want to go much further than that. Let's try one more time. Do you know the band? Here, I'll play another couple seconds. Maybe if I break it up, I won't get too beat up by YouTube. I know it's more of the same.
Yeah, I don't think I know. I don't think that one's not ringing a bell.
Okay. So that is The Doors, Strange Days.
Oh.
Long, Strange Days, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of starts out. Then the bass line kind of kicks in and stuff. And then, yeah, it gets into the groove. So kind of hard to pick it up just from that little organs. Yeah, even Tap's like, I'm stumped. But yeah, so that's just the intro going into Strange Days by The Doors. So great one. Another one with a self-titled track. I talked to Arnaldo yesterday. If you guys missed it, I did a little, we had a little conversation for about an hour yesterday in live. So Arnaldo from Fidelia's Frequency, he did a video. So this location where they've taken this photo is in New York, believe it or not, even though we're talking about a Southern California band. And he did a video where he went here and he did like a little video of this. You know, he was doing kind of a album covers of New York kind of a series. So that's kind of cool. Just for those that are interested, you can maybe check that out. But yeah, Strange Days.
Yeah, that is cool. All right, the next I'm going to go here again. Talk about how songs can bring back memories. When I was in college, I was the the NAIA softball championships were held in the town where I went to. So my coach asked me to go volunteer to work there, and they got rained out. So they didn't play games for a day. So they were trying to find ways to entertain the girls. They bring this band into the hotel. They just set up in the lobby and just start playing. And very few of the girls showed up, but this band was playing awesome music, right? And they played this one song, and I'm like, dude, what is that? I went up and asked them afterwards, like, what is that? And they said, it's a song called Give Me Some of Lovin' by the Spencer Davis Group. Because I just never really heard it up to that point in time.
Yeah.
And I just totally fell in love with it. And every time I hear it now, I think about that drummer. He was like this, like 300-pound bald guy. And like, you know, he just could barely even walk from here to there. But man, he sat on those drums and he was the lead singer. And I mean, he sounded just like Steve Winwood. It was so freaking awesome.
But, wait, what? Steve Winwood, Spencer Davis Group? I mean, yeah. I'm like lost. That's awesome.
Steve Winwood back, and as soon as you hear it, it's like, yeah, that's Winwood. And then, you know, Traffic came on later, and then of course going his solo career and everything else. I mean,
well, Blind Faith with Clapton, I think was that. I wonder if that's before Blind Faith even.
I'm sorry, I forgot about Blind Faith. Winwood's been doing it for a while.
Yeah,
in a long time. This came out 67, 66, 67. I mean,
wow, that's early.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But you really
I wasn't even aware of that. That is awesome.
Great stuff. And I mean, just such a fun song too. Again, it's just kind of that. There's almost like some guitar rock energy, but there's also a little bit like surf energy. There's also a little bit of kind of an R&B energy that's in it. It's just one of those perfect rock songs. Classic stuff.
That's cool. Here, I'll give people just a teaser. Oh yeah, we all know that.
Yeah, it was an Iron Eagle, I think.
Oh right. Yeah.
Like I didn't even think about that until as soon as I heard that, and all of a sudden I saw the freaking jet. It's all it takes.
Hell yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'm in fact, I think I'm at the very end, but you keep going. Okay. Hey, what's up, Psycho Splatters in the house? What's up, baby? We're just doing we're just showing off some records. We're showing off title tracks today. I'm getting to the end of my stack, but I've been trying to maybe play a little bit of Name That Tune as well. I think this one, I don't know how deep you're, I don't know. I'm not sure if this is going to be one you'll recognize, but let me play it anyway.
Is that California Dreaming?
Nope, not
Oh.
California Dream. That's a good guess though. Anyone in the house? We got any Zappa heads out there?
Oh.
So a little Zoot Allures with Terry Bozzio on drums. Talk about just being a little kid, man. Terry Bozzio, little kid here too. But that's the title track, Zoot Allures. Beautiful little no vocals, just guitar track. Kind of the last minute and a half or so where Frank is just kind of playing us out on the guitar is just, oh my God, it's so good. For those Zappa heads out there, you'll also recognize Black Napkins is on this one. So yeah, man, just a great album. But yeah, I figured I'd take maybe throw a little curveball here with little Zoot Allures.
Yeah, I'm definitely not very up on the Zappa, so you always stump me with that. And I know you
says I got the album, but don't recognize the track.
How many more do you have left?
That's it. I'm out. That's all my bullets.
Okay. Well, I'll do one more, then I'll just flash the other few that I have sitting here.
Okay.
This is one I might actually want to say something about, so I'll pull this one up. Terry Reid, Seeds of Memory. And of course, the title track, Seeds of Memory. For people maybe that don't follow Terry Reid, the one place you might have heard this was in one of the Rob Zombie movies, The Devil's Rejects.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't remember. I think it was The Devil's Rejects. I don't remember which one, but there's just one scene where they're kind of driving, and that song is playing in the background. And another one I just heard in that movie and thought that crap sounds amazing.
Is that the version?
Yeah, that's it right there.
There we go.
And yeah, it's just a fantastic.
Does not sound like a horror movie track, so.
But yeah, just awesome album. And yeah, I mean, I guess the entire album is good, but yeah, that song is really the one that just kind of absolutely blew me away. And so then, of course, I just started collecting vinyl, and I was looking for this thing forever, and it just never popped up anywhere. And then one time I'm out in Boston and just go into this little hole in the wall place, and just sit in this old raggedy box. I'm just like, oh, finally. Actually, I was out in Boston going to a Godsmack concert. That's what I was doing out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And that's actually too. I mean, again, we're just telling stories, and I this is one of my favorites, so I'll just throw it out there really quick. So I'm dating a girl at the time. Godsmack's in town. Her and her family are going out of town. She lived in Boston. She was like, "Hey, my sister is perfectly fine with you guys staying at her place if you want to come in and go to the Godsmack concert." And I'm like, "Okay, well, sure." So I go to the store, find that morning, go to the Godsmack concert, and there's this dude sitting right in front of me at the concert. A total stoner. I mean, just like, and during the intermission part, he's like, "Dude, are my beer cans in your way, man? Like, just let me know. I'll move them." And he starts telling me how he takes the train into town all the time, and he goes to concerts and everyone he's seen, and he has like an hour and a half ride, but it's always worth it. And concert's over, and I happen to bump into him outside afterwards.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, "Dude, you said you live like an hour away with train rides. Like, I don't have to be anywhere until 7:00 tomorrow night at the airport. Let me give you a ride." I rented this convertible. I was like, "Let me give you a ride." So yeah, he hops in, and we're driving through downtown Boston. Like, "Dude, you want to stop and get something to eat?" So again, kind of long story short, we go into this pizza parlor. It's closed early because they're doing inventory. They're like, "Well, if you guys just want a pizza or two, that's fine. You can come in." So they pull 2 bar stools down. So one of those ultimate scenes, the entire restaurant is empty. 2 guys sitting at the bar. "No way, man. Master of Puppets was so much better than Ride the Lightning and Judas Priest this." And it's like, are we in a freaking movie right now? Dude, drove him home, dropped him off, and I was like, I think I just went on a dude date. Did I just have a dude date? And I think I did. And it was like the best date I've had in 20 years.
Oh, man.
Such a blast. So again, every time I see that album cover, that entire weekend comes back. And it's just like, what a blast that was.
That is hilarious, dude. Dang, that's cool, man. One of those unforeseen moments that you'll never
Yeah,
forget.
that was one of my due dates. But yeah, just the other stuff that I pulled out. Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath, Metal on Metal by Anvil, another great one there. Probably my favorite song by them. After the Gold Rush, Neil Young. And like what, 5 more here. Cat Scratch Fever, Ted Nugent.
Dude, I love that record, man.
Fantastic record, and I still say to this day, you have not heard Cat Scratch Fever until you've heard him perform it live.
Oh, really?
There's no recording that can capture what a Ted Nugent Cat Scratch Fever or Stranglehold is like with 30,000 watts or whatever coming out. It's a totally different experience.
Yeah, those are just rock and roll deluxe, man, those records.
So much. Hey Jude by Wilson Pickett. We talked about that in the previous video recently. Still in Love with You, Al Green. Return of the Mac, Mark Morrison.
Oh, yeah, great one.
And the last, 3 here? Dream of Life by Patti Smith.
Oh, cool.
One of her slower, more mellow songs, but arguably one of my most favorite songs by her. Nick of Time by Bonnie Raitt. And the very last one, you pulled out a little Word Up. I went with a little Single Life.
Nice. I don't have that one.
Another one I have to keep an eye out for you. I'm making like a list over here of things to keep an eye out for you.
I was gonna ask you, keep an eye out for some metal too, man. I've been like champing at the bit to get some 80s metal. In fact, I was listening today to I guess a 92 or 93 Warrant. Let's see if I can find the track here. I probably won't be able to. But man, it was great. The way I found it was I was just kind of surfing around on YouTube and somebody was just playing the guitar from it, like whatever, just playing the solo out of it and stuff. And I was like, whoa, what is that? And it was a Warrant record, and it was like from 92 or 93. I was like, wow, this, because it sounds so 80s and it was so rocking.
Was it?
And it's pricey because it came out in 92. Yeah, it's called Dog Eat Dog.
Oh yeah, Music on Vinyl just did a reissue of that.
Oh really?
Like last year. So
okay, I could probably pick that up. Yeah, the track, for those that want to know, was called what track was it? I think it's All My Bridges Are Burning, I think, was it? I mean, already, dude. Oh, God. Those 80s guitars, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So good. That was actually, this kind of made me think of something. I was kind of like, who are the bands that made it to the 90s that was just still kicking ass in the early 90s? 80s bands that were still kicking ass in the early 90s. I was kind of like, I wonder if that's something we could get into. Only problem is I probably don't have a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, because if anything, that stuff is hard to get.
Yeah.
Or it wasn't pressed on vinyl, or like that's a perfect example. You know, everyone knows Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinking Rich and Cherry Pie, but then after that, most people just kind of drop off with Warrant. And like that album is a perfect example.
Yeah. And it's a fun record, man. There's some cool stuff. Like that song alone, if you hear it, go play it. If you're into this stuff, All My Bridges Are Burning, man. It's just a killer song. What's so great about it is it's not, it's creative in like the chords and in the songwriting and stuff. It's not, and that's what I like. I don't want it to sound just like it's just a cookie cutter metal track or whatever. And in fact, I don't think I have any Warrant in my collection, but man, I was like excited to hear that. I need to go hear some more. Well, man, I got my little list here of stuff that you that you should. BT Express, I got to get that. Rock Your Baby, Jim Croce, I got to check that out. So all cool stuff.
Do you have any Jim Croce?
I don't.
Wow, yeah, that's some good must-have stuff, man. Just such great folk and storytelling, the whole nine. Just Like I said, it's just because I think he only had 3 studio albums before he died.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, if I remember correctly. Don't Mess with Jim, Times, and Name. I think those were the only 3 that he had.
Interesting.
Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody watching, but I think that's right.
Is it I Got a Name? Is that the one you showed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I got to check them out.
But it does seem like they have a lot of greatest hits albums by him too, both past and recent reissues. So even getting greatest hits stuff is pretty easy for him. So
Oh, that might be the way for
yeah,
me to go then. Okay.
I'm sure I'll stumble across one somewhere and definitely send it over to you.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, guys. Well, hopefully that was fun. I try to spice it up. I know oftentimes people are like, hey, why can't we hear the music? And I mean, it's just, I did a video. Part of the reason I'm so shy about it is I did another video where I did best guitar solos. It was like greatest guitar solos. And I picked mostly live stuff. And I would play videos from YouTube and everything. And I probably did, I don't remember. I picked 10 or 20 of them, whatever. They literally just blocked my video. Like I couldn't even, it wasn't just demonetized. Like it was just gone. So the only people that got to see it were the people that were there live. So unfortunately, that's kind of the thing. So I know people get away with it. I don't know what the secret is, but I figured I'd play like some 2 or 3 seconds of a little Name That Tune today, just so you guys can kind of get a flavor of it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tap. Appreciate you. AA, Jim Croce is absolutely wonderful. Thanks, AA. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you guys. Psychos Platters in the house. Groove Seeker. I missed Steve Wynn was like, oh, that was okay. I remember that comment. What's up, Groove Seeker? Yeah, thanks everybody. Orange Margin was right on the system, dude. Don't disturb that groove. Great track. Go check it out, you guys. So thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'll be back with Brandon next Wednesday. I think we're gonna have something really cool up our sleeves.
Always.
Yeah,
absolutely. We got a whole list of stuff we can't wait to get to.
Exactly. We want to make them all at once, but it's like we gotta only do one a week. So what's tomorrow, Thursday? I will not be on tomorrow, but if you are checking out the channel, you guys probably already know the A side will be here. I do Surface Noise. I host the B side, and this week is the A side. So you see Chance and the crew here then, and then Friday I'll be back. I'll be back early. That'll be 6 p.m. Central, taking you into the jazz bumps. And I actually have some fun stuff planned for that day. We'll talk about some fun jazz stuff. So I'll be back on Friday. Brandon, dude, as always, thank you. This was so fun.
Absolutely, man. Always a pleasure. Always a blast.
Awesome. All right, you guys. Have a great night.
Take care, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys stopping by.